As a young Mormon bishop, I used to look for revelation and discernment wherever I could find it. And where did you need discernment more than in the temple recommend interview? I was always rubbish at feeling people's spirit, kind of like looking into their eyes and boring into their souls. So what I'd do is I'd ask them to say the opening prayer for the interview. And whilst they were saying that prayer, I would be considering the questions. And then when I opened my eyes and looked at the questions, the one that stood out to me the most was the one that person possibly had a problem with. So when we got to that question, I would allow them to answer. And regardless of that answer, yes or no, I would sit and count to 20. That's 5. You feeling awkward yet? That's 10. It's really awkward. We won't go all the way to 20. But the amount of times after about 7, 8, 9 seconds, people just want to fill the silence, and they will fill it with confessions, maybe, just kind of trying to justify something they've done in the past. But when it's something like, paying the law of tithing, and they're like, yeah, well, maybe there was that one time that this happened, that happened. Most of the time it was nothing, and it was just me being like full of myself. But I genuinely thought that was the gift of discernment doing its thing. Funnily enough, a lot of people confessed a lot of things, but I never actually turned them down for a recommend. And that was probably down to the fact that the church has KPIs for the bishops. And if someone is already an endowed member, you need to have as many endowed members holding a current recommend as possible. So that was it. My way of discerning people's sins. I like to call it recommend roulette. Have a good one.